Welcome back to Exposing Human Trafficking. Well, it seems like we're having some really interesting conversations about spirituality there. And it's really cool to have these conversations. Um, I want to share with you something spiritual that did happen that night. It was the early morning hours of July 20th, 1989, at my older stepbrother, George Bermudez Jr., the human trafficker's townhouse on Lemner Street in Chatsworth, California. When I came to, my clothes were being taken off, and I didn't have the strength to fight them off. I kept trying to keep my clothes on, but I'd never done drugs before. I don't do drugs. I hate drugs. So whatever they gave me affected me very bad. I tried screaming for help, and they closed the window so that nobody would hear me. And they told me that the townhouses on either side belonged to them and they were empty too, so that nobody could hear me crying for help. They kept threatening me. They had a knife on me. I was going in and out of consciousness. And they told me that they were going to get Brad and bring him back, and they were going to hurt him too. It was horrible because I knew Brad had work that evening. I didn't know what time it was. I didn't know if he was alone. I didn't know if he was with his friends. My older stepbrother, George Bermudez Jr., the human trafficker, said he was going to send a carload of guys to go get him. I didn't want anything bad to happen to Brad, and I didn't want his career to be jeopardized. Little did I know that Brad and my older stepbrother were friends, and they were in cahoots. I started praying and asking Jesus to help me, and nothing. Tom Hickey started raping me, and I told him that the only way he could get a beautiful girl was by drugging her and holding her at knife point, because he was so ugly that he couldn't get a girl on his own, and that he was terrible at sex, and that's why his ex-wife had divorced him and left him. I guess this is how I've earned the title, the bitch wife. He got mad and he started strangling me. There was an angel that showed up at the foot of the bed by the wall. And I was like, wow, an angel's going to come here and save me. He had a scroll and a feather, and he kept writing everything down. But he didn't do anything. He didn't call for backup. He didn't put some blinding light out. He did nothing. I lost consciousness. I astrally projected. And I ended up in heaven. I saw Jesus there with that same angel. Worthless angel. And Jesus was telling me to go underneath this. It looked like a big table. And there were people with white robes under there. And he's like, well, just go in there. And I was like, I can't. I have to go back. I have to warn Brad. Brad made it look like my brother, my stepbrother, hated him. And my stepbrother pretended to hate Brad. But they're friends. My stepbrother would say that Brad was pretty and that he was dumb because all he did was read the Bible and pray with me when he should be effing me. they were all in the same coven. I thought they didn't know each other, and when I introduced Brad to my stepbrother, I said, he wants to be an actor. He's going to be a star one day. And my stepbrother said, in LA, everybody's an actor, and walked off. I later learned from my stepfather, George Bermuda Sr., the pedophile, and the child human trafficker, that they used Brad to get girls because of his looks. And that's how they got girls. He was the bait. When I told Jesus I couldn't stay there because I had to come back and warn Brad, I came back into my body, and there was a lady with red hair, like kind of not slapping me hard, but just like patting my cheeks and telling me, come on, wake up, come on, don't leave us. I was dead. At the end of the ritual, I died a second time. And this time, I went to a place where there was nothing. But I woke up the next morning. And then I found this verse. And it explains everything that happened that night. It's Revelations chapter 6, verse 9 through 11. And it reads, when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain because of the word of God and the testimony they had maintained. They called out in a loud voice, how long, sovereign Lord, holy and true, until you judge the inhabitants of the earth and avenge our blood? Then each of them was given a white robe, and they were told to wait a little longer until that full number of their fellow servants, their brothers and sisters, were killed just as they had been. So basically, Jesus has a quota of martyrs, of people that have to be killed before he avenges anybody. That doesn't bring me any comfort or any optimism, because avenging their blood, he has to wait for a certain amount of people to be killed. I've studied witchcraft, and that's called blood magic. And it is the most evil of magics that there is, because it entails harming a living creature. That pretty much turned me off. There's other examples of blood magic in the Bible. Take the case of circumcision, which is the Old Covenant. Why would you create a body part that you want to be cut off? Why would you do that to a helpless 7-day newborn baby boy? 8-day, rather, newborn baby boy. A lot of people say, oh, well, we don't do that anymore. It doesn't justify all the ones that went through it. I'm going to post a link in the description below to a baby circumcision. And I want you to listen to the screams of a newborn 8-day-old baby boy being skinned alive. The practice hasn't changed since biblical times. Not only that, circumcision creates a lot of problems in men. Most Viagra sales occur in nations with high rates of circumcision. It creates a trauma that affects the frontal lobe of the brain because of the pain. It makes circumcised nations more militant. Take a look at around the world. Which countries are always fighting? Those that have high circumcision rates. Then take a look at countries that don't have wars, and they have very low rates of circumcision. When I started studying about the Sumerian tablets, they have that same story from the Bible. However, the Sumerian tablets are the oldest recorded history. They even have a character that looks like Jesus. And their story is the same. They've got the flood, they've got Adam and Eve, they've got this second coming, they've got all that. But it's not, it's a very warlike pantheon. It's not good. And any religion that calls for the shedding of blood is not a religion. That's not any different than Satanism. The highest form of magic is love. Love for self, love for others. Like I said previously, true magic and spells is going within, working on yourself, trying to be the best you, trying to be about light and purity and truth and hope, helping others, blessing others. That's magic. And every time I've seen someone do that kind of magic, it happens. Let's say you need money. Instead of just making a money spell, money come here, do your spell as, I need money, so I need a way to earn this money. I need for a job to open up, or I need to get an idea to start a business. Because I need money so that I can pay my bills and I can buy XYZ or whatever it is that you want. And it could be something of luxury. Maybe you saw a really nice tennis diamond bracelet. But the thing is that when you're doing your spell, you're not just saying money come here in a very selfish way, or doing a spell to ruin someone's money so that you can take it by perhaps getting them fired and taking their position at their job or stealing it. But you're doing your spell by putting your intentions out that you want to earn money honestly. And that's magic. And if you do that, those things will happen. As for the angels, angels are always male in the Bible. You've never see a female angel. Never, never. Even Jesus says that, they're pretty much sexless. They don't get married and they don't give themselves in marriage. Angels only belong to Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. You're not going to see them in paganism. You're not going to see them in Hindu or Taoism or Buddhism or whatever. And angels will only do the biddings of the Abrahamic God, which is the God of the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims. So calling on an angel, well, first of all, according to the Bible, you're not supposed to pray to them. That makes problems. That will bring demons in. Because the angel is not going to answer you. Because he can't. He has to do what the Abrahamic God says. And basically, if Jesus tells that angel, this is going to be one of my martyrs, don't save him, the angel's not going to help you. He'll write it down. Oh yeah, look at how faithful and good she was. But he's not going to go against that. And it's really sad. So while Jesus is over there counting how many more people have to be killed before he returns, ask yourself, why? Why would you have your creation tortured and tormented and murdered after having their blood spilled? I know it's a lot to think about. I gave you some Bible verses there. In context. That's the fifth seal. So anybody who tells you that it's been fulfilled, it hasn't. Because there's 4 seals before it. Anyway, I hope this sheds some light. And go ahead and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Comment below. Subscribe if you haven't. For those who are unsubscribing because I'm not Christian, shame on you. Because this channel is about human trafficking. It's not about religion. And I'm merely sharing what happened to me. Times, dates, places, names of people. And you should realize that not everyone is going to believe as you do. But since you want to turn it into a religious power play, then you're free to go. Because that's the same thing that the Satanists do. The Satanists are forcing me to join their coven. And as Christians, you shouldn't be forcing anybody to be a Christian. It's the wickedness of these Abrahamic religions. So share this with others. And ask any more questions that you might have. So that there'll be not one more victim of human trafficking. Thank you.